Hello, and welcome back to another retro video game stream on original hardware. We had a little bit of a technical issue there, and we're just going to start streaming again. Of course, on a night where I really am excited to stream one of my most favorite games, I have a technical issue, but I think we're back. So, as I was saying, I'm excited because tonight we're going to be talking about a very special RPG, Ultima III, on the Atari 8-bit home computer. And as I was saying, the story goes, I saw my uncle playing Ultima 4 when I was about 7 and was really excited to check it out. And he recommended that I play Ultima 3, which he then lent to me to play. And I loved it. So Ultima 3, very special, had a lot of really awesome goodies included inside. You have, of course, the disc, and then you make a scenario disc to go with it. You have the famous, and this is what I was talking about when my connection died, cloth map that was included. And I have to say, that was one of the neatest things for me as a kid, was seeing the cloth map and seeing all the little pictures of the towns and stuff and their names and runes on here, and wondering kind of, whimsically, what is in these locations, what is on this map. And again, I talk a little bit about how the sort of groundbreaking nature of this game meant that it was very much like an open world, if you will, and that was kind of mind-blowing at the time. It comes with the Book of Play, which is beautifully illustrated. In fact, I was a patron of the artist who drew some of these beautiful, like, line art drawings for the Ultima games. And I can't remember his name necessarily, but he illustrated, I think, all the Ultima booklets. And just very flavorful, very, classic advanced Dungeons and Dragons style artwork. Talks about the various character classes and their stats. An example of play, combat, and movement. Again, we just don't have these kinds of things with games now. And they really went all out with this. Talks about the moon phases, which is important for the gates in the game. Talks about shops. And these little pictures are really great. There's just really flavorful artwork in here. The pub, the healer, the weapon shop, and the grocery. Just really, really flavorful artwork. The stable, the oracle, places where you can buy horses, and then, of course, the pictures of the monsters. Very much inspired by, let's talk about citizens, monsters. Very much inspired by the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual, which was a huge inspiration for Richard Garriott, Lord British ships, and talking about the adventure. So again, the Book of Play, fantastic manual. Comes with the reference sheet, has the spells and stuff on the back, and the commands to get around the game. Very vital to playing the game, actually. A couple more flavor books. You have the Ancient Liturgy of Truth and the Book of Amber Runes, which talk about both the cleric and wizard magic in the game. And also, again, really kind of flavorful illustrations talking about how the spells work. Just really, really, really cool. Artwork for going up and down in the dungeon, the light spell. Just awesome stuff. It really felt like a real RPG. And to some degree, like, this is stuff that wouldn't even be necessarily in a tabletop RPG that you would get. So the production and flavor of these books, it's just fantastic, outstanding. Um, I can't rave enough about it. There's a little insert here for notice to Atari users about booting it with the option key down. Um, oh, I had forgotten about this. I had applied for a job at Origin Systems when I was about 14. And I sent them a letter saying, I would just love to work for you because I love your games so much. Is there anything I could do as, a young employee? And they sent me a postcard. I have it addressed from Origin Systems where they declined my, we regret to tell you that, we have no, thank you for your recent inquiry regarding employment opportunities at Origin Systems. We are currently reviewing your qualifications and experience with our current needs. If there's a match, we will contact you. Otherwise, we will retain your resume for 1 year to review for future openings. Again, thank you for your interest in Origin Systems Human Resources. So I had forgotten that I had done this. But that's my old address in Fairfield. And where I used to live then. Yeah, Austin, Texas. Amazing. I've forgotten all about that. There's a registration card in here, and looks like someone's handwritten notes. But yeah, Origin. So, oh yes, Ultimate Warriors of Exodus Ultima 3. There was a challenge where if you beat it, you could send a picture, I think. Oh no, this is talking about a illustrated document called The Secrets of Sosaria that's like the hint book. And $12.95 you can get it. That's really neat. So anyway, obviously really important for me and my gaming life to play this game. I loved it. The cloth map, everything. Just really, really, really special. And can't really rave enough about Ultima being significant for me playing computer games and stuff as a kid. I also have this really cool, speaking of hint guides, official book of Ultima. And this is the cover of Ultima 6. This is a really neat, kind of rarish book that came out around the time Ultima 6 came out, and it has walkthroughs and discussion about the history of Ultima. It has pictures and illustrations from the manuals. Talks about the solutions to various games. There's some maps in here for Ultima 3, which I have referenced. We're talking about the maps to the various dungeons. That's hell or fire. You can see, where is it here? That's the way to the treasure chests on level 1 that we did the other day with the wind and then the chests. So really useful hint to get gold in that game. Okay, that's enough of an introduction. We're going to actually play the game now. Okay. So let me fire up my equipment. Again, I apologize for interrupting before my connection died on me. We're going to put in our disk. Hold down the option key and get started. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm having technical difficulties tonight, but I really wanted to show this startup screen because it's really cool. Yes, Exodus Ultima 3 by Lord British. And this little startup sequence was really cool when I was a kid. You can see the little the little dragon. It was just so great as a kid seeing that little animation. Hopefully we can play the game now without issue. All right, we're going to pop in the scenario disc that we had to make. The scenario disc contains all the character information. Again, this little intro is really cool for me as a kid being a Dungeons & Dragons fan. And we're going to turn the music off, but we're going to listen to it for just a little bit. Run away! Alright, we're going to turn the music off now. Control S. Very important. Because while the music is really cool, you don't want to listen to it for the entire time you're playing the game. So, anyway, this little intro is great. We're going to go ahead and get started here. From the depths of hell, he comes for vengeance. It's so great. So, in this main screen, much like other RPGs like Wizardry and stuff, you can organize your party and pick your characters that you want to play with. So, see, it says copyright 1983 by Lord British. So, let's go ahead and organize the party. We'll take a look at that really briefly. You have a register of characters. I have some characters I put in here already that I made. But actually, we're going to make a character and reform the party, because I think instead of a wizard, we're going to make a lark. And part of the reason I think we want to do that is because the lark character class is like a bard and can wield a bow, which is a big deal. So what we're going to do is create a character. We'll do entry 5 that was empty. We're going to name him Iolo. And then I'm actually not sure what the best race is for a lark, but it does matter what the highest stat you can get is for a lark character. So let's see. Lark, half int, and uses wizard spells. So you have to have really high int and probably dexterity. So we'll do high int and high dexterity for our lark, because dexterity controls how easily you hit. So let's see what's the highest int and dexterity we can get. An elf. I guess we can be a fuzzy. Can a fuzzy be a lark? I guess we'll do that. So in our world, Iolo is a fuzzy. And the fuzzy characters are sort of like Ewoks, only thinner and maybe a little taller. So we're going to go with low strength. We don't care about strength. It's for melee. And we're going to go... I guess we're going to do 20 dex. 25. Oh, I guess I can't do that. Okay. Okay. Fuzzy Lark. 5 strength. 15 dex. 25 int. 5 wisdom. And we'll make our Lark character. So then we'll disperse the party. And we'll reform with the Lark. We're gonna reform it with the Ranger in the first slot. And we're going to go to the main menu and journey onward into the game. Awesome. Okay, when you reform like that, it teleports you back to being right outside the castle. So before we go too far here, let's look at our stats. With the Z key, it brings up Zats. So Shamino is a ranger, 25 strength, 5 dex, 10 wisdom. It's probably wrong because I'm shooting the bow with the ranger all the time. Probably should have put that in dex, but it's okay. 221 gold, XP, bow, leather, dagger. Okay. And then Iolo, let's see what he's got. 150 gold, hand, skin, dagger, cloth. So we're going to wear... we got a monster approaching. So, cloth. Let's see if we can get a bow for Iolo before we do anything else. Before we go and fight those wizards. Going to Britain. There's the pub. The movement keys are kind of weird on the 130XE. They're weird anyway, but they're definitely weird here. All right, we're going to join all our gold to Iolo. See how much we had. We have enough for a bow. We do. We got plenty of gold. I was harvesting some chests earlier. All right. We don't need it. Well, we'll go and list. See what you have. Daggers, maces, slings, axes, bows. So we want to buy a bow. F0. All right. So now we're equipped. Let's join our gold to Ocello. That's for Ocello. 409. Cloth. Let's see if we can buy armor for Ocello. We might have enough to get him chain. That's my paladin. Let's see. Cloth, leather, chain. 575. So, no. We don't have enough. Does she have extra clothing? Yeah. We can sell that. I'm going to sell our cloth. All right. Well, as I was saying earlier, you really need money in this game. For a variety of reasons. So we're going to go fight that monster. And then we're going to go down into the dungeon hell and get more treasure. All right, let's fight this guy. Wizards. Hmm. Poor cleric doesn't really get to do much. Doesn't have any ranged weapons. Man, tough wizard. The sound effects are great. You know, as it kind of scales through the different characters in your party. Let's hit him with a magic missile again. Got him. Cool. Now, chests. They're almost always dangerously trapped, so you want to open with a character that has some trap disarm, or use the chest opening spell, which is what you use basically all the time. So, Apar Unum. Now, my ranger and my paladin can cast that spell too, and so it's nice that they can do that. All right, we're going to go into the dungeon hell. Or fire, as it's called elsewhere. You can see the lava around it. Okay, so I know how to get to these chests in the dark. You go straight east till you hit a wall. Beware the fires of hell. And you see it says strange wind. So you're in the secret hallway. Turn right. Go to you hit to a wall. Turn left. Go ahead 2. Turn left again. And go ahead 2 and you're in the room. Now if I cast a light spell, you can see there's a room full of chests in here. And we just start looting them. Free money. Got some chatting. Welcome to the stream. All right. So it's dark again, but we sort of know where the chests are. So, actually, you know what? I was looting them randomly, so we'll just pass until we get enough magic to cast the light spell again. Which we need magic to open the chests anyway. All right. Yep, that'll happen. The ranger can cast wizard and cleric spells. And the paladin can cast cleric spells. All right, it's dark again. So now we're going west. We want to go south. And we're in the strange wind. Turn right. Go to the wall. Go north. Turn left. Go all the way to the wall where the ladder is. and then climb out. Now, in Ultima, every time you leave a dungeon and go back in, it's repopulated with all of its contents. So all those chests are going to be there again. So this is a way to harvest gold without, like, stealing, and it's not really cheating. You just have to kind of know where these secrets are in the game. And it's a little cheesy, but you need money to succeed in this game. So we'll go back into the dungeon. All right, so we're going to cast Light Spell. Oops, wrong one. I just wanted to show the hallway. Oh, we got to fight trolls. Okay. Now, interestingly, trolls can be destroyed by a spell called Repond, which destroys, like, orcs and things. Ranged weapons are really important. All right. Okay, there's that chest we got. And the trolls. Okay, I'm going to go back to the west and show the ladder out. The cleric spell Lumine is more expensive, but I think it lasts a little longer. Anyway, that's where we came in. If we go east, there's a secret door here. And then the secret door at the end of this hall takes us into the Strange Wind Hall. Then we're in the room again. Well. I think there's one more chest in here. We're just going to pass till we get enough to cast the light spell again. Skeletons. Pontori is the turn skeleton spell. No problem. Okay, let's get out of here. Whoops. Okay, so let's see how much gold we have. We'll join our gold. Okay, 1,000 gold. So we should have enough to buy chainmail for a cello. And maybe if we sell the cloth, we can get another set of chainmail. I think we need 1150, something like that. Okay. Again, the cursor keys are kind of a drag here. Fight these goblins. Repond. Yeah. Basically, it turns goblins and orcs. If I had to do this over again, I'd probably change my stats around so I had more dexterity on my front two characters. Alright. A little more gold. Let's go back and see if we can get some chainmail. Oops. $575. Plates 2,500. Whoops. I think is D for chainmail? C is leather. Okay. Yep. How much gold do we have left? Enough for more chain. Okay. So let's hand the... I wonder if can the lark wear leather? Maybe not. All right. Okay. Okay, so now we should have bow. Okay, where? Bow and chain. Okay. Bow and chain. Bow and cloth. Mason cloth. Okay. So we want to get some chain for the cleric too. But interestingly enough, there's the exotic armor and weapons that you discover in this game, and you can just dig them up out of the ground. But I need to get a ship before I can do that. And so, as you're equipping your characters, before you do any kind of real dungeon delving, you have to spend a little bit of time grinding. And the treasure chest, secret that I basically was showing you really speeds that along. When I was a kid, I didn't know about that. And I just fought monsters. And actually, my uncle, he told me that what they had done is they had fought monsters on every square of the map and filled every square with chests so that they would never be bothered by monsters because the monsters can't go over a chest. So they, when I saw their game, the entire world map was filled with chests, which is really funny. I don't know how long it would take to do that, but it's funny that they did that. All right, let's go get some chests. All right, I think we got all the chests. We'll just cast the light spell. Let's see if we have any left. Oh, we do. Okay. Every time you go in and out of a dungeon, it saves. And I didn't realize that, and I had opened a chest before without using the spell, and a poison gas spell went off and poisoned my entire party, which set me back 400 gold, getting everybody healed of poison. Poison is absolutely brutal in this game, much like it was in AD&D, which this game is inspired by. So, it's really important to use the open chest spell when you can. Even though I have a ranger and rangers give me some capability of opening chests safely, it's not really worth it. Let's look at this treasure chest room. Oh, we gotta fight. guess I could have used Repond anyway, but there's one chest left. Running in the dark. Now, again, there was no internet, no spoilers, no guides for this game, in 1983. So people mapped on graph paper. And I remember my uncle and my dad graphing, out dungeons for Bard's Tale and this game, and meticulously writing every little wall down. And that's all you could do. I mean, you had to figure it out. So let's join our gold. See how much we got here. 800. That should be enough for some armor for our cleric. You'll notice we have food, too. And you have to have food, or you'll starve. So you have to spend money on that. All right. So our cleric has chainmail too. So might actually move my cleric up to do a little fighting, because it's hard for the cleric to get XP sometimes. If you're not fighting undead and using the Pontori spell, you don't get XP because you're not using a ranged weapon all the time. And ranged weapons are really where it's at in Ultima. All right. So I think now our next thing would be to hunt around for a pirate ship and see if we can get a frigate, because we need it to do exploring and to go to Death Gulch and get torches and gems and things you need to explore. Now, honestly, I'm not sure what the best way to do that is. I guess you could just hug the coast until you have a frigate show up. In the meantime, just fight whoever. Yep, that's not going to work. Good old combat. Every time. All right. We're going to heal my paladin. That's one of the places we have to go. Splat. It's nice to be able to cast that spell. All right. Let's check my stats. Yeah, man, I might have to remake my ranger. Need that dexterity. Kind of screwed that up. Bow and chain. Yeah, my paladin's messed up too. Paladin should have dexterity and not strength. But I didn't remember that dexterity is what allows you to hit more easily, and strength basically makes you hit harder. And if you're using the ranged weapons all the time, it doesn't really matter. So I might have to remake my ranger and my paladin. And I might make a barbarian instead of a paladin. I don't know. I like the paladin. Okay, well, it's 8 o'clock. There isn't really a pause in the game, but if you check Zats, it kind of pauses it. So, anyway, this was Exodus Ultima III on the Atari 8-bit computer, and again, I love the little artwork on all these things. You know, you got this little guy sitting in here on the cover of the reference card. It's just so great. So much imagination went into crafting this game by Richard Garriott. I can't even imagine doing it completely by himself in assembly. And then this conversion was done by Chuckles, whoever that is from Origin Systems. He originally wrote, Richard Garriott originally wrote it on the Apple II. But yeah, hugely influential for all, you know, subsequent RPGs that came afterwards. Everyone was influenced by Ultima. And JRPGs in particular, like Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy, kind of follow this formula. You know, where you have a party and you can wander around, fight monsters randomly and stuff. But it's just such a great game. Just, oh, it's so, you could spend hours going through the dungeons and fighting monsters and figuring things out. It was just, it's so great. And the objective, of course, is to defeat Exodus. But you don't necessarily figure out what you're supposed to do. You have to talk to some townspeople, and they tell you about, you know, the clues that you need to find where you need to go. You have to talk to everyone. And I remember my uncle, he had a notebook of all the interactions with the NPCs in the game and all the things they said, all the hints and clues. Because, you know, again, back then, there was no hint guide. There was no nothing. So, yeah, that pauses the game for sure. So, I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to know where to find like the exotics, and find the various things you need to beat Ultima 3. It doesn't surprise me that my uncle and his roommates in college, you know, filled the whole screen with chests because it would take forever to figure all the details out. And, you know, that's really a sign of a great game that you want to play for hours and hours like that. Just a different time, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week with some more retro video games on original hardware. I apologize for the technical issues. Of course, it's on the one night I really want to do a special stream about a game, But we'll see if we can cobble together a video of our stream from tonight without issue and maybe put it on YouTube. We'll see. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your evening.